I'm Will Simmons with Carmel Hounds HQ, and today I'm with Coach Emily Good. Coach, you're obviously the Director of Football Operations. What does that title exactly mean?
Basically what it sounds, just kind of day-to-day operations. I'm an extension of our coaching staff, working directly with Coach Hebert, our administration and our parent club, just to make sure that things get done accordingly.
So it seems like there's a lot going on in the football world. I see 5 different types of jerseys behind me. What colors do we normally use, or does it vary between game day?
It really does. I mean, we were just, at an away game this past week, and we had our brand new whites on. This week, little secret, we're going to be going with a little bit more of our traditional blues for our home game. We've got 4 different types of pants that we will also rotate, so a lot of cool combinations.
So looking over here at this wall, I see multiple different uniforms. What are these uniforms used for?
Great question. So not only obviously are we making sure that we're suiting up our varsity, but we've got our junior varsity and our freshman programs that serve our student athletes as well. So we try to make sure we have as many combinations for them.
And so are these jerseys washed after every game day? Because I know most of the time we have a JV game the next game day after we have a varsity game. So you have to wash those jerseys for varsity. Obviously they're not used for JV,
for sure.
But I'm sure the turnaround's pretty quick.
The turnaround is very, very quick. Obviously, after a game, we've got a lot of things going on with those jerseys and those pants. So we want to get them in and washed as quickly as possible, get them up, so that the turnaround for Saturdays for our freshmen and JV, we can have room in the laundry room to be able to get those in and out as well.
Yeah, so I look over here, there's a lot going on. I see a lot of pads here. For the players, are the pads provided by the Carmel football program?
Yeah, we're really fortunate. Our athletic department at Carmel Play Schools, it does a phenomenal job of being able to provide these things for our student athletes. We also work very closely with our Carmel football parent club that works to make sure that we are provided those things in addition to maybe what we don't have initially.
Are all these pads used for freshman, JV, and the varsity team?
They are. So we fit them at the start of each season, based on their size. And again, that's another thing throughout the year that can change from time to time. We've got guys putting on muscle. We've got players that lose weight due to the amount of sweat. So we've got to be ready to make those necessary adjustments as needed.
So we got the jerseys and we got the pads. Moving on to the most important part, I see a ton of helmets over here.
Yeah.
None with logos on them. What do you guys do to add that logo on the helmet?
Yeah, so usually the first part of the season, right about a week before our first game, varsity and JV guys will be provided their dogs. And so we will get those stickers out to them and on the helmets. And you can see that there's a couple of them that have come back in just for maybe some quick repairs, so you can see what they look like with their actual stickers on, as opposed to those right now that may not have them. Again, it's a long season, so things break from time to time, and we have different parts, we have different sizes that we need to move in and out, so everything's pretty much set up according to size, style, etc.
So after the season, I assume the helmets get pretty banged up. Where do the helmets go after a season's completed?
Really good question. So we ship them off to Red L, usually at the end of November, after that state championship game. So that's the hope. We give them, have one of our reps come in, get them pretty much all numbered up, get an idea of what we're going to look for as far as what needs to be reconditioned, what we can send out, what we need to order for next year, and it kind of sets us up for the following year.
Well, it looks like we got all aspects of the uniform in their game day attire. I look up here and I see a second floor of the equipment room. What is that floor used for?
Really kind of just a little bit of our overflow, as well as our drink storage right now. Our parent club has been doing a phenomenal job of being able to provide Gatorades and waters prior to our games and for our away games. So a lot of storage up there, some extra equipment as needed, just to allow enough space for us to be able to get in and out of our facilities.
So it looks like we got a lot of space in here. You can do a lot in here with all this, these helmets, these pads, and these jerseys. But as I look across from me, I see another room. What's inside that room? What goes on in there?
That's kind of my domain right now. This is the equipment room office. Love to kind of show you guys what goes on in here. So I'd like to welcome you guys to our equipment office. Again, kind of my domain, my home away from home right now. This is where you're going to find myself and our student managers. Typically what we'll do is we'll start our day prior to practice. We'll open the door. Our locker room is right there, so it's easy access for our players to be able to come over. We've got extra accessories, equipment, etc. that's available, easy access to be able to get to them pretty quickly. So if they need an extra pair of pants, if they need an extra girdle, if they need some practice, extra practice pads, we've got that accessible for them.
So I see all the extra cleats and the extra pants and all that type of stuff. But as I look behind me, I see all these stickers. What do all these stickers mean? Because I see a lot of them. I know we have a lot of players, but where do those stickers go?
Oh, definitely the helmets, for sure. So talked a little bit earlier in the other room about our dogs. This is a big deal. Those are distributed the week prior to our first game of the season. These Carmels are what fits on the back of our helmets, and each one is kind of specialized depending upon the style of helmet that it pertains to.
So we have different types of helmets. What do those different types of helmets, do they have different protection? What are the different models?
Yeah, they really just, they have different fits. They have different, they have fast release, quick release, our speed flexes. I'd love to show you guys some of those sometimes. So we've got speed flex, we've got our regular just speeds, and then we've got shut F7 that we have a tendency to have a lot of our players that like. So it really kind of depends on their personal preference. We've got some of them that like just a larger fit, and maybe a little stronger in the forehead. We'd probably recommend an F7 on that one. Somebody that wants a quick in and out, we're going to go with our speed flex, which typically is what the majority of our varsity guys are in.
Our helmets ever switch throughout the season?
They do. As a matter of fact, I think I had 3 of them before today's practice. So yeah, there gets to a point where they want to try a different fit. Maybe things just aren't necessarily feeling the way that they want to. So practice day is a good opportunity before a game day to see if this is something that they would like a little bit better.
As we're on the helmet subject, I know everybody likes their visor. All the talk in the NFL is a different color visor. Is there a rule in high school, or do Carmel students choose what color visor they like?
No, that's a really great question. So IHSAA is very specific that it needs to be a clear visor, and kind of have personally from the manager side, we have a little bit of a love-hate relationship because obviously they're protecting factor, but you get into the elements, you get rain, you get humidity, etc. It starts to fog up, so has to be a quick in and out change.
So I see over here all the extra chin straps, the cleats, the gloves. Do these usually get used throughout the season, or are they just extra just in case something were to happen?
They are definitely extra, but I will tell you, we've already gone through quite a bit of them. So, little pieces, parts here and there, they fall pretty regularly. So our managers need to be prepared to deal with those circumstances, whether it be in a game, prior to a game, etc.
Awesome. Well, it's great looking around the equipment room. Is there a way we can go in the locker room?
Absolutely. Let's do it. Hey guys, we are in our JV South locker room, and I'd like to take you for a little tour of the locker rooms and what our players have available to them prior to the start of practice and games.
Awesome. Take a look.
Let's go. And if you guys kind of check out, there's a lot of strong tradition from our state championships at the past on our previous teams.
Awesome. All these wall decals are looking pretty cool. Are these still the same helmets that we had, or are they different?
A little updated versions. Now we got something pretty similar to these old speed styles, but definitely sticking with some of the Rydell, but a newer version for sure.
What do these decals represent as a whole? Because I can see a lot of team decals, a lot of helmet decals. But what do they represent?
Just our tradition, the pride and the tradition that we have, and then taking a look, over here at this wall. We're getting ready to head into week 3 right now, and we've been able to identify our players of the week. So we'll have this board filled up by the end of the season.
Awesome. So walking in here, this is obviously the biggest part of the locker room. Is this where halftime and all the final stuff goes down?
It really does. So we'll have our pregame meetings that really start to take place in here, and then we'll branch out depending upon where our defensive, special teams, etc. is going to end up being, so that they can have a little bit more representation of what they want to discuss, and we head out together as a team.
So are the lockers sorted in any kind of ways, or special team side, offense side?
That is all Coach Hebert. He has a certain routine of how he wants players and where he wants them to be, and it works really well for us.
I see the projector and stuff. Is film also done in the locker room?
It is. So we've got film that's available for us in the South locker room as well as the North locker room. We have an actual film room in addition to that, and then oftentimes we'll have players that will branch out into our coach's office. So we're a little bit of everywhere.
So film here, film there, film everywhere. Can we go take a look at the film room?
Yeah, let's do it.
Looks like a lot of video equipment behind me. What does all this video equipment
filmers usually in the end zones each game, and most of our practices. We'll be moving some of these in and out during our practices as well, and then we'll have at least 2, if not 3, sideline views in addition.
So is all this footage used for the team film to break down the games, break down the opponents, stuff like that?
Absolutely. You know, we share our film. We're going to share it with our players. This is an opportunity from a recruiting standpoint for them, and obviously the biggest component is for us to continue to get better.
And like you said, we're in the film room, but it looks like you don't want us to show you too much.
No, this is a little hodgepodge. We've got a lot going on in here. Some plays. We've got you know, coaches area. We've got plays on the board. We've got player meetings in here from time to time, so can't show you too much.
Well, that sounds great. Looks like a lot of video equipment to get the players prepared for game day.
I got one more thing to show you guys. Let's go. So I'd like to thank you guys for spending some time to see what happens behind the scenes. Everything that you just saw is leading up to Friday nights and great practices so that we can make the magic happen.
Awesome, Coach. Thanks for having us.
Appreciate you guys.
Pleasure.
Thanks so much.